Hello guys, I hope you're doing fine. This is going to be your third class, like officially your first individualized class, just focusing on your content, but your third in content actually. So today we're going to talk about future tenses. So let me show you what I have written for you. Sure, okay. So you've got future forms, and we're going to deal with going to, let me write in capital, yes, going to, present continuous and use as future as well, and will. Okay, the book provides just a specific set of usages, or we're going to focus on very specific functions of these tenses. All of them have different functions, are a little bit different, but we will focus specifically in some examples that the book already provides for you. So your page should be 49 of the student book, the grammar and the explanation and everything, where I took most of the explanations here. And it's page 144, okay? So you can take a look there and it will explain a little bit better. So let's start with the first tense, which is going to, okay? Practically, it's the one that we tend to use, I think, because we use the equivalent in Spanish a lot, okay? So maybe it's one of our favorite expressions, at least it is for me. So the grammar or the structure is subject plus be plus going to plus your verb in base form, okay? You always need to be using be, okay? I didn't write it here, so you remember that it's going to, but the complete structure is be going to plus your verb, okay? If you forget to write be, or in this case, it's conjugation, am, is, are, your sentence is going to be incorrect, okay? So it's very important that you write it, because if you forget it, your sentence is incorrect always. It's always incorrect, okay? So let's take a look at the function. We use it for intentions. Other books define it as plans. We use it for plans. What I want you to know is that it's something quite definite, or it's something that you have planned ahead. So it should be taking place. It's going to happen normally. And another characteristic of this tense or function is that we can use it for near future, literally in 2 minutes, in 1 minute, in 50 seconds, or you can use it for a very distant example. The book provides an example. I'm going to marry her. I'm going to marry my girlfriend in 2 years, for example. You know that you're going to do it, but not just soon, okay? So that's a good example that the book provides. Let's start checking a few sentences. I'm going to study a lot this month. I suggest that you study a lot right now. And also, she's going to finish university in 4 years. Notice that it's in a long time, but it's an intention. It should happen. Obviously, nobody knows what's going to happen in the future. Actually, we have a very good example right now. No, we should be seeing face to face, but it's not happening right now. So that's a good example. We don't know what future holds, but you should try to express that you are really, your real intention is to make it happen, to do it, to make it happen, okay? Now, so this is going to, I can translate because it can make everything easier, because going to has a translation into Spanish. Voy a estudiar and ella va a terminar. So that's usually like in Spanish, I was telling you, no? So going to, ir, voy a, vas a, and your verb like this, okay? Has to be like this. Now, you've got present continuous. This is a special function. In Spanish, we don't use present continuous this way, so we really need to focus. And the structure is super easy. You study this from level 1 or level 2. It's very, very basic. So subject plus be, obviously conjugated, plus your verb in ing. I am reading, I am eating, something like that. We use it for arrangement. The key word here for present continuous is arrangement. The word arrangement, or when you arrange something, it's like when you prepare, when you plan something. Common or typical examples of arrangements are dates. If you're going to meet your boyfriend, your girlfriend, or your crush, no, that would be your date. You're gonna go out with that person. Dinner or lunch is very, very common. Mostly examples of the book is dinner. I'm having dinner with my parents. I'm having dinner with my boss, no? Very, very typically. Or when you invite people to your house. My boss is coming over. My parents are coming over. They are going to visit your house and they are going to have dinner or chat or whatever. Obviously, more situations are possible, but these are the typical ones, okay? Now, it normally takes place within 2 weeks. So it's not like something that you will wait for 1 year, 2 years, 3 months. It's usually within 2 weeks. Could be tomorrow, could be tonight, could be this afternoon, could be next week, could be in 1 week and a half, whatever. But it's not normally something like will take much longer than that. That's the typical use for that, okay? Now let's see some examples. I'm having dinner with my parents tonight. Very good example of an arrangement. And she's visiting the dentist this afternoon. This is an appointment. You're just saying that the person is going to do this or that. So this is an example of it. Now, you might be wondering if you are like contrasting the two explanations I've given you so far. What is the difference with going to? Well, so as I have told you, is the length of time. For example, I'm going to Chiapas in 3 months. Okay, so that's gonna be taking place in you know, it's not really a short time. It's 3 months. It's a lot of time. Versus, I'm visiting Chiapas and next week, which is alrighty, or I'm going to visit Chiapas next week. Both are correct. Okay. What is my suggestion? Well, you can try to use going to more often because it's more similar to Spanish, or if this is the first time that you are seeing this function of present continuous, it takes a while for your brain to understand. If it's not, just get used to the expressions. Try to use the expressions this way and everything is going to be fine. One note about going to. Some people prefer to use only going to when the verb is also go, okay? Some teachers normally say, no, we don't combine them, and other teachers are more flexible. In my case, I use both, but I normally omit go, okay? I normally omit it, but if you're speaking and you say going to go, no problem. Let's see the example. I'm not going to Progreso Beach. It's dangerous. It's the same as saying, I'm not going to go to Progreso Beach. If you analyze the grammar, this is practically present continuous, and this is also present continuous with going to, but the complete version. So if you contrast them, you know, it's like already there, no? It's already another version of present continuous. So that's it. Let's move on. Finally, you have will. Will is very basic, the structure, but it's somewhat difficult for us to understand. As I told you, going to, the translation is voy a estudiar. Having, she's visiting, we don't have a translation, so I normally translate it as voy a cenar, and ella va a visitar, o va a ir, va a acudir. We don't normally have a translation, so I normally use va also for this one, okay? Visitaré, viajará, okay, it's all right as well. There's no translation for present continuous. We could say the same for will. So let's see some examples, okay? You have the structure, which is will plus verb in base form. Let's see when we need to use will. Talking about things we think will happen without any special plan of arrangement. It's not something planned, it's something that you consider inside your heart, or in this case, it's a prediction. Sometimes we don't have evidence, you just believe, you just think it will happen, or sometimes it's a future fact, okay? So this is like a contradiction because it's telling you a prediction. A prediction is not always true, but a future fact, yes, it's a fact, it's un hecho. So it's like a contradiction. So yes, will can have many usages. So I recommend that you try to use it in a natural way, like try to copy sentences that you hear. For example, when you say, will you marry me? You only memorize that expression and don't overanalyze or anything, just use it. That's the way they say it. That's it, okay? Let's see what I have written for you. I know him well. I know he'll come. So you're talking like from deep your heart. You know that person. Oh, I believe he promised he would come. No, so it's like I would say like something that comes from your heart. It's not even any of them, or maybe like a prediction because it's another use that we can consider here. I think it will rain tomorrow. In this case, we could say it's a prediction. Okay, sometimes you can use going to if you have evidence. In other cases, you can use will because we don't know about the weather. You never know what could happen with the weather. So I normally use will to talk about the weather. It will rain, it will be sunny, there will be a storm. We don't really know what's going to happen. We cannot control it yet. And finally, she'll try to arrive early. In this case, we could say it's a promise. It's another use of will. So she'll try to arrive late is a good sentence. She's going to try to arrive late. Doesn't sound bad. She's trying to arrive early. That is a different meaning. So you have to be careful with the sentences that you say. So let's not like focus too much on that. Let's just focus on this, right? She'll try to arrive early. Sounds good. And it's something strong. In this case, she will is something strong. Or I believe, or she believes that she will do it. Okay, so it's actually strong. Okay, now let's take a look at all of them together. Okay, this is what I want you to develop. So let's see what I have written. This is an example. I normally write an example like this, not talking about the cinema, talking about restaurants. So cinema is the easiest one. So it's a conversation between Roy and Susan. So Roy says, I'm watching a movie in the evening. Would you like to come? It sounds very good. You could also say, I'm going to watch a movie. It's an arrangement. Sounds perfect both ways. Now, second, sure. I'm having lunch with my parents at 4:30 p.m. at Boston's. So we might go after that together, all right? So I'm having lunch is an arrangement, sounds very good with present continuous. I'm going to have lunch, I think it's also acceptable, but this, in this case, is very common to use present continuous. And then actually, or in fact, actually, it's at 7. Will you be done by then? Okay, so in this case, we are predicting about the future. We don't really know if she'll be done because you don't know how long the food is going to take to be prepared. You don't know if your parents will arrive late. You don't know if you will catch a bus or you will have an accident in your car. So in that case, will you be done by then? Sounds very good. Are you going to be done by then? Could be, but in this case, doesn't sound very natural, very good. Okay. Now, great. I think I'll be home by then. There, where is it? Normally, if you say I think, it means that you are not sure. Another use of will is that when you are not sure, I think it will fall. I think it will be expensive. Okay, so also when you are not sure, you can use will. So in this case, I think it's a very natural expression to say maybe, I think, perhaps. Okay, that's another usage. Then it's going to be at Alta Brisa Mall. I'll pick you up if you want. It's going to be at Alta Brisa Mall. Sounds very good. It's been at Alta Brisa Mall. No, we don't say that. So in that case, I think it's going to be is the best option you've got. I'll pick you up if you want. This is an offer. Also, another function of will is offer. I'll help you clean your house. I'll close the window for you. So in this case, that's the main reason why I'm using I will. Well, because, and it's like an offer. Okay, I will give you a ride if you want. Okay, I will go home with my car and take you to the cinema. And finally, it sounds great. Well, I'm leaving. See you later. Very typical expression. I'm leaving. I'm going to SAC. I'm going home. Very typical. I'm going home. Goodbye. So if you analyze, that's present continuous. Okay. So I'm leaving. I'm going to leave. It's okay, but I think it sounds weird here. So I'm leaving is very common. So bye. And with this, we finish your class, your video number 3. This one is hard. So if you'd like to practice more using Skype or something like that, let me know, in my personal email address. Okay. So that's it, guys. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope it's a little bit clear or clearer than you expected. Okay. So see you guys. See you next video.